you guys. I just wanted to share a little bit about how I was packing for this trip to China. I had gotten a few questions earlier about how I was going to try and do it carry-on only. I will be perfectly honest, this was the tightest fit I think I've ever had on a carry-on only. And I'm not actually sure it's going to meet airline specifications, so we'll get through that. In front of me you can kind of see everything that I want to bring. The main obvious options, I have a bunch of shirts right here. It should be a full week's worth of clothing. And I save a little space just by zipping it into a packing cube. This is a medium-sized packing cube, and this is 6 shirts, so they fit quite easily in here. I'll shove that in my suitcase. Over here I have 4 pairs of pants, which is probably one more than I actually need, and I may end up taking out one of these pairs of black pants. But these I will also zip into a packing cube to try and compress some air out, just make it a little bit smaller. So that fits into another packing cube. And you can see in my suitcase here, 2 packing cubes fit perfectly side by side. And that will be true for any carry-on of standard dimensions. So this one over here is kind of the specialty, and I have 2 pairs of long underwear and 2 long underwear shirts or thermal shirts. This is what I need for Harbin. The daytime temperatures aren't so bad, but the nighttime temperatures are below 0, that's 0 Fahrenheit, so quite cold, and the festival is best at night. So I do expect to be pretty chilly, and that's before wind chill or any dampness in the air. So I don't know if I'll need to wear all of this all at one time, but I'm taking it just in case. I do not want to be cold. That's kind of the whole reason I'm going to China in winter. And again, I will go ahead and shove these into a packing cube. And I picked a different color just so that I know where the long underwear is, because for most of the trip I won't need it. It's just for 2 days. So I'll stick that in here also. In this smaller packing cube, I went ahead and put my winter gear. So I have a standard pair of gloves and then a very, very warm waterproof outer shell. These are amazing, but they were really expensive. If you're not going to use them all the time, I don't know that I would recommend them. But they are great if you live somewhere wintry or you go to wintry places often. I also bought my first balaclava, which is a fancy word for one of those like really intense black ski masks. So it covers your head and your nose and your neck to keep you really warm. And then I brought an ear band. I hate hats. So despite how cold it is, I'm not bringing a hat. I will just have the balaclava, which does cover your whole head, and then the hood on my jacket and the ear muff. So that kind of gets shoved in its own packing cube as well. And then in this one, in this other size, this is just my underwear. So I'm not going to open that one right now. You can use your imagination. Here in this one, I have socks. All except for 1 pair in here is Smart Wool, which is my favorite. It keeps you super warm and it keeps your feet dry, which is really important, especially in the winter. So I have 8 pairs of socks in here. Shove that in here also. Here, I'm only bringing 1 pair of shoes. I'm going to be wearing my winter boots on the plane. There is absolutely no way they would fit in this suitcase. So I'm just going to throw the sneakers into a little protective bag here. And this will be the only other pair of shoes that I bring. I expect to wear them the vast majority of the trip. Then we're getting to the end here. This is my little case full of electronics, also my water filter because you can't drink tap water in China. I don't have a lot of electronics, I'll be honest. I just have my cell phone charger, my adapter for plugs. I have a universal. I have a camera charger here, and then I also have a selfie stick, not because I intend on taking a lot of selfies, but because it means I can operate my cell phone camera without having to take my gloves off. So again, just trying to stay warm. So this one kind of only fits one way. Now that I jiggled it around, I don't know if it'll zip up. There it goes. This is a hanging bag I bought Don't buy it. It's already falling apart and it's less than a year old. But this is for my non-liquid toiletries, so hairbrush, toothbrush, things like that. I could probably use a different bag. I'm kind of hoping this one breaks at some point so I don't feel bad throwing it away. I know that's terrible. And then this is my actual liquids bag. I don't have a lot this time. Often I have way more, but I don't need sunscreen or bug spray or any of those summery type things. And then here I just have an empty laundry bag and then an empty day bag that's all scrunched up. So you can see this suitcase is like super, super full. It does zip, which is great, but it is pretty stuffed. I will be honest about that, and I won't be surprised if the airline makes me check it. But at least it's still a nice compact size. So even if they do make me check it, it's still easy enough to wheel around compared to a huge 26 or 30 inch suitcase. So that's that for this carry-on. It goes with me everywhere. And then my laptop bag here is the stuff that I'll probably need on the plane that I definitely don't want to check. And it all fits pretty nice in here. My file folder is just literally hard copies of airline tickets and hotel reservations, a couple of maps that I printed out, my laptop, an external battery. Most people don't need one this big, but I use a lot of juice. My wallet. I do pare down the credit cards that I keep in my wallet for trips. So I only have 3 cards and a debit card in here, which is a lot less than I normally carry around. My camera, don't want to check that if they do make me check that bag. My coffee mug, which I take with me on every trip. Ironically, I never put coffee in it, only tea and sometimes just plain water instead of bringing a separate water bottle. Passport, pair of glasses, headphones, my phone, my keys. Because it's China, I also have a little pack of toilet paper. I've been caught in squat toilets in China before, don't want that to happen again, unprepared. Chapstick and humans. And then last but not least, this is my like survival kit basically. So I've got my eye mask, more tissues, a pen to fill out those customs forms, earplugs, a little hand sanitizer, and then my first aid kit packs down very compactly these days. I have some bandages, which are usually for blisters more than actual cuts. And then I use a 7-day pill container, and each one of the 7 days has a different over-the-counter medicine like Advil and so on. So that's all I have. And this all fits into my laptop bag here quite easily. I just like everything in this little kit so I can find it really fast. And there is room to spare in here, which is good, because don't want it to be too full. Anyways, when I measured this before, it's 22 inches long, which is right, and it's 14 inches across, which is right. But the problem is you can see how high it comes up. When I measured it earlier, it was 10 inches. Technically, you're supposed to be at 9 inches for a carry-on bag. It does squeeze down, so it might fit overhead, but I won't put up a fight if they tell me to check it. So I think that's a fair compromise. That's how I'm packing for Harbin, for Shanghai, and for Nanjing, and I'll see you all in China.